Good morning, everyone. It's Belinda Weaver here. I am a copy coach and I am joined by Louise Griffin. Hi, Louise.
Hi.
Every week, I'm chatting to members of my Confident Copywriting group about their business, how it got started, where it's up to, bumps and challenges along the way. Because what we often see is the beautiful Instagram version of our business, the Facebook version, the LinkedIn version, where we're all in control and we don't see the ups and downs. And so I'm not going to dwell in the challenges, but I think it's really important to see how businesses evolve with copywriters of all kind of levels. So let's get in. Louise, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Louise Griffin. I've been a copywriter for about 2.5 years. I'm based in London. I mainly write copy for entertainment companies like cinemas, music management companies, but not always. I do write for other businesses as well. The copy I write is mostly websites, social media posts, newsletters, case studies, and some content writing as well.
Now, that sounds super glamorous, actually. So I have two questions. I want to know how you chose that as a niche, like how you got into copywriting, and
Mm-hmm.
was that your niche to begin with? That's quite a big question. And also, is it as glamorous as people might think?
Right, okay. I'll go to the first
I'll
part.
break them out. Yeah. So let's see how you got into copywriting,
Yeah, yeah.
what that moment was.
Yeah, sure. So I was working for quite a big corporate entertainment company for about 10 years, and I always felt like I wanted to work for myself. I just kind of felt it inside. Um, but I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. So I was on maternity leave, and just decided to hand my notice in. I had some thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
I handed my notice in, and during some of my maternity leave, I did some work experience on events, like film events, and what did I do next? And then, so I did some event work, and then around the beginning of 2020, I was just about to start another events job. Then obviously COVID happened,
Yeah.
but I had made a contact through my events work who had a film magazine, and I'd started writing for him. And then I was like, okay, so I can write for him and get paid. I wonder, like during the pandemic, if I can write more. And I did, and then that led to copywriting. So yeah, I did a course, and then yeah, that's how it all happened.
And so I love that sort of journey, although I just laugh at like, oh, I decided to hand my notice in, and because I think having a kid is
Yeah.
one, like it's definitely one of those, I need to make some life decisions now. Like
Mm.
is this what I want it to be like?
Mm-hmm.
And it can feel a bit luxurious to
Yeah.
change direction, but it takes a lot of courage. And so I
Mm.
love that you did that because, it's we can be we can get set in to jobs we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we have to make opportunities then. It can feel a lot harder to break out of it. So I love that you seized that natural moment where you're like, well,
Yeah.
not working. I may as well make
Yeah.
it now.
Well, I just knew that I wanted not that my childhood was awful, but I just wanted a different childhood from mine where, I did look after myself quite a lot of the time, and I wanted something different for my son. I wanted to be there after school, or, go to things that perhaps my mum couldn't at the time.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, a different kind of life.
And when you discovered that sort of writing, because I
Mm.
think we all have this moment where we're like, I can get paid for this.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always liked writing because, I mean, for me, I'm not one of those people who are like, I've always loved writing. Like, yeah, it's been fine.
Yeah.
But becoming a writer has been a
Mm.
bit of a surprise for me, to be honest.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, same. I had always imagined that I needed to work in an office, kind of doing 9 to 5. I always liked media, and I knew I wanted to work in media and film, and that's the area I was in. But there was always something missing for me. I remember saying to my old boss, "Oh, I want to do something a bit more creative," but I couldn't because I wasn't in the right company, in the right department. And then once I did start writing and had that moment that you mentioned, oh my goodness, I can get paid for this. I thought back to my school days and how much I enjoyed writing then, and English. So it's always been there, but just very dormant for a long time.
I love that. And I remember I pulled something out recently. I did this exercise years ago of connecting that, like there was a series of dots on a sheet, and I had to kind of come up with a goal and then do the steps that get me there.
Yeah.
And I put it away and I pulled it out recently and went, gosh, I've started taking those steps. But the point I want to make is it's not until you look backwards that you see them connect.
Yeah, that it's always there in you somewhere.
Now, going back to that question, so obviously the media entertainment was a natural fit for you because of your experience. Is it a glamorous industry to work in?
I think it can be. I mean, I used to get to go to premieres and things like that, but like 90% of my time was in a desk job in an office. So if you, what I loved most was the product and the things we were making, and just like the writing, it's about what brings you joy in that way, rather than the premieres are nice, obviously, but it's not as glamorous, no, is the short answer.
The reason I had to ask, because in my head I kind of hope she says no. I want to bring it down, but I remember when I moved from IT into marketing, because I was like working in IT, looking at the marketing team and like, we're off for a golf day, we're off to do marketing stuff, and I was like, damn, that looks fun. And then you get to do it and you're like, oh, it's work.
Exactly.
Actually,
and it's work and it's tiring. And like when I did the work in events, that was extremely tiring, particularly with a young son as well. So that was another switch. I wanted to do events, and I thought, I can't do this with a family. I have to find something else, which led to copywriting.
Yeah, so I love that you found the crossover, because on your website page you talk about how you love films and reading and all that, everything in the entertainment industry. So it seems like such a natural crossover.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when you got started. What were the challenges you faced once you were like, all right, copywriting's it?
I think the biggest challenge, hands down, is my imposter syndrome. I think that's with a lot of people, but comparing myself to other people, particularly on social media, looking at what they were doing, but also because I'd kind of stumbled across it. I hadn't really, but that's what it felt like at the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure which direction I was supposed to be going in, seeing what other people much further down the line than me were doing. And completely comparing, imposter syndrome with pricing. Definitely undervalued myself massively for a long time. So imposter syndrome, and I still get it, but it's just not as prevalent as it was.
Not as crippling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can get myself out of it now.
Yeah, it's I don't want to depress everyone, but it doesn't go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time you go and step up and out, that voice comes back.
Yeah.
Because you're in new territory all over again. But that's absolutely where the growth happens. If you never hear that voice even whisper, you're kind of not growing. You're not moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love the fact that you're going, like, I can control it now. Like, I can see the fact from the fiction.
Yeah, I accept that maybe for a day or two, I might be questioning myself on many different levels. But I always, well, not always, but I try to do one small thing that I don't feel like doing to just push myself forward. And eventually I kind of just get back to normal again. Yes. But yeah, it's hard. Like you say, it's always there. And I think it's accepting that too.
Yeah, I love that. That's great advice. Just do one small thing, kind of get you back in the flow.
Yeah, even if it's a tiny, tiny thing.
Yeah, but I also do the same where I'm like, oh, hello, I know what's happening. All right. And I accept that there's going to be this time frame where I'm just a bit useless.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm feeling all the feelings.
Feel sorry for myself. But yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll be like, all right, snap out of it.
let's do it.
You got to feel the feelings.
Yeah.
And so how has your business changed since those early days?
So yeah, when I look back, I every time I do something, I write like a list of the things that I've done so I can look back and reflect, blah, 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 blah. But from the beginning, I'm a completely different person, certainly in terms of confidence. I'm much more confident. And I do think that's pushing myself to do things like you said, to put myself out of my comfort zone, even if I hated it. I try and do it. Not always, but I did try.
Yeah.
Now I've got a virtual assistant who helps me out. I do have some people who I subcontract to write. But yeah, I would say most of the things that have changed is my confidence, and the reason why I joined Confident Copywriting was because of the processes and the systems. That was my main thing.
Yeah.
Because I want more structure in my business and to move it on.
Awesome. I love that. Just speaking of confidence, because it comes from taking action. It comes from realizing the world doesn't stop turning because you tried something new.
Yeah.
And it comes from just consistency as well, when you're like, okay, this is what I do now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that you've got a VA to help.
Yes. Yeah, that was recent. That was the beginning of this year.
Oh, cool. And what's the shift? Has there been a shift when you've started getting someone to do the work you don't have to do? Did you go
mentally? Yes, definitely. Even if it's a really tiny task, maybe it's not tiny to her, but to me it is. And just to have that relief that I don't have to do it, and something that's been on my list for ages, all the little things that every time you look at them, they weigh you down because you're not getting to them.
Yes.
When I can give them to her, it's just like a simple thing, like adding invoices to my system that I've had there for about 6 months, maybe even more. Yeah. And now she does that and it's done. And I'm kind of like, oh, it's done. Now I have to find something else for her to do.
Yes. It's great. And I found it challenging to let go of control.
Yeah.
It only takes a minute. I'll just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it builds up, you're suddenly like, well, I do the writing now. I do the ideas.
Yes.
The pricing.
Yeah.
I'm not booking meetings and creating documents and entering data into spreadsheets.
Yeah. It's definitely the mind shift as well since I've had her. Well, use her services.
Yes.
So it's really rude. The mind shift in, actually now I don't do that, so actually I can do business stuff.
Yeah.
And actually believing, I know that I have a business, but believing that I have a business.
And it's big. It's not to be underestimated, that sort of stepping into the CEO zone. We hear this all the time, but I have that same thing where I'm like, oh, I feel differently about these tasks because I'm not the only one doing all the things anymore.
Yeah. And it is a relief. It's like a shoulder relax.
Yes. And so then you get to do harder things that push you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Give you anxiety. No,
yes. Yay. So you mentioned systems is why you joined Confident Copywriting, but is there a favorite resource that you have found most useful since you can remember?
Yeah. So actually 2 things. Last week or the week before, I used your retainer video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good because I was about to go into a big meeting and that really helped me set everything out in order to kind of get what I want, because I've been with this client for a while and it just helped me prepare beforehand to go in, ask for more money basically, and Yeah. And the other thing, the rate card. Yeah, the rate card's amazing.
Oh, good.
I use it to look back and see how badly I was paid before or let myself be paid.
Oh, and actually it's getting a proper makeover at the moment. So the quote calculator is going to come back bigger and better than it ever. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad, because especially like with the retainer, sometimes it's really about being able to ask the right questions. Like you don't have to go in going, this is how it's going to work. But being able to go, all right, well, here is how I would like it to work.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this arrangement. Let's talk about this relationship. What do you want out of it? Asking the right questions and having some of your non-negotiables ready.
Yeah, exactly.
It means you're the one guiding the process then.
Yeah, feeling more in control. I definitely felt more in control walking in there.
Oh, that's good. And that's how you ask for more money. You don't ask for more money. That's how you explain why you're worth more money.
Yeah, exactly.
She's super professional. And so what big things have you got on your horizon? What are you excited about? And this could be a couple of months. It could be a couple of years. But what big on your goal list?
I have, my ultimate goal that I have, like probably down the line a bit, would be to have my own copywriting agency, and I've kind of tried like dip my toe a bit. But the main kind of shift and goal I've had recently is just I've been caught between being a mum and wanting to build this agency and expand. And actually, I think it was like last week, I was like, I'm just going to concentrate on being a mum first with my business there. And I always have that drive to do those things, but allowing myself to be in that moment. I think it's just about being more present with him, because I just felt so pulled in two directions for quite a long time. It wasn't great for my mental health, but now I feel better, more relief.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I know, this is me 100%. Like I've got 2 kids, 9 and 5, just 9 and 5. And I've had so much friction where comparisonitis comes in, like, look at all these other people, but I don't have the time.
Exactly.
I don't have the capacity. And I'm not the mum who sits on the floor and plays for hours, but a lot of time goes into keeping other humans alive and happy and joyful and making memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, making memories for sure.
And I have to remind myself that I'm just in this phase right now.
Yes.
And this stage, and it's okay.
Yes. That's exactly what I realised last week. And I'm sure people have told me this before, but last week I was like, it's actually okay not to do stuff now, because when he's older, I can do more. But I don't know why I hadn't clicked, I don't think.
We have to hear it for when it's the right time, but it's such an important realization. I'm the same, where I'm like, I got a whiteboard over there and I got a list of things. And I could try and do them now and burn myself out.
Yeah.
I could just wait until I have the time and the capacity and the energy. And then we all come along as a family too.
Yes.
I'm not like, I worry that I work through the best bits.
That's what I'm scared of as well.
It's just we're all here, and that's what I love, that there's a lot of parents in confident copywriting, because we can all be like, no, it's all right to slow down. And when I chatted with Leanne like last week, she was like, yeah, actually the work doesn't go away and the list doesn't end, so slow your roll and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
It's always going to be there, isn't it?
Yeah, and like you said, you've got the ambition, you've got the drive, you already know how to put yourself out of the comfort zone. So it can happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, and that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great place to end. Now, where can people find you, Louise, if they want to have a chat?
So on Instagram, just Louise Griffin Copy, and my website, louisegriffincopy.com.
I'm just going to get your Instagram handle in, Louise.
Okay, thanks.
Is that it there?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, cool. And here's your website. I had that one already.
You.
And it's a really nice website. I was just mooching around.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I love the little animation. I think is it Galaxy or is it Belinda?
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up a bit. I don't know if it's my.
Oh, that's all right. I'm talking about your website. Go and have a check out, everyone. It's got these cool koi fish on it. Thank you, Louise. I appreciate it so much. I'll let you get on with your evening, and I'll see you in Confident Copywriting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Belinda. Thanks for having me.
Bye.